Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about this video. This really is one of my favorite videos to film every year. We are going over my fall eyeshadow palette selections. Fall is by far my favorite season, so it probably won't surprise you as a girl that really loves eyeshadow palettes that each year I love to pull out my fall toned eyeshadow palettes, and every year I try and switch things up a little bit. So I'm going to share my selections with you guys today. I've got such a good mix here, from cool tones to warm tones, oranges and greens and browns, berries, you name it, I've got it. We're going to go through them all. We're gonna do some swatching and kind of celebrate this wonderful season that I so look forward to. So buckle in, this one's gonna be fun. Before we get into all the palettes, if you are a new visitor here, I want to give you a special welcome. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel and make sure that your notifications are turned on. And with that, let's get right to it. Okay, so I have quite the selection here. I think I counted 13 eyeshadow palettes, which I really don't even go for a number. I just kind of pick out the ones I'm kind of in the mood to select. I do have a little container that sits off to my right that holds my current eyeshadow palette selections. They're these little dividers right here, and I have two of them. They each hold 7, so I always shoot for 12 to 14 palettes. I landed on 13 this year. Most of these are older. A few of them are newer since last year. And then at the end of this video, we're going to walk through some of the mini palettes that I've picked. So let's start out with the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today. Oh my gosh, guys, this one is so good. I love these little Nabla palettes. This is the Nabla Cutie Analog palette. This is still available on Ulta's website. I wasn't sure because this palette's been along for quite a while, and I feel like Nabla is slowly taking some of my favorite products off of the Ulta website. This thing is a beauty. Now, if you do not like your orange tones, you're not gonna like this palette because it is warm. Like fiery warm. It's so beautiful though. I have this whole thing on my eyes today. I think the only shade I'm not wearing is this deep shimmery brown right here. Everything else is what I have on my eyes. And I have to say, you guys, oh, this thing is glorious. If you like golds and bronzes and oranges, you're gonna love this thing. This shimmer right here, which is kind of like a duochrome kind of effect, it's basically like a fiery kind of peach with a gold shift. It's so gorgeous. I have that on the center of my lid, and then overlapping that on the inner corner is this beautiful foiled gold right here. This palette does give you a creamy matte formula. This dark rich brown right here, I mean, this smoked out in the outer corner, and then I topped it with this deep orangey brown, and I just feel like my outer corner looks the best it's ever looked. It looks so good. This is such a pretty eye look if you're into your warm tones. I noticed looking at it today that it had perfect ratings. I think there were like 107 5-star reviews of this palette, and I concur. It is that good. Next up is an oldie but goodie. We're going on the other end of the spectrum and going cool tone with this one. This is the ColourPop That's Taupe. Such a classic. Honestly, I've tried other cool toned eyeshadow palettes, even some of these 9 panners from ColourPop over the years, and I always come back to this one because I think it's just so perfectly done. Perfect range of mattes and shimmers, light to dark, everything that you would need to create the most perfect cool tone eyeshadow look that's not too ashy or gray is in here. Some of these lean a little bit kind of taupey. Obviously, it's called That's Taupe. Wow. Wonder why they did that. But it gives them like a touch of like purple or pink in them that makes them a little bit more, I don't know, like wearable to me. I'm very picky about anything that veers in that gray tone direction because some grays just don't look all that flattering on me. This is such a good flattering palette. You'll absolutely love it. If you don't own this one, it's been around forever. I'm sure many of you do own this one, so pull it back out this fall and winter. Okay, next up is a palette. I don't know that this palette is available anymore. If it is, I will link it down below. It's from Sydney Grace. Ironically, it's called the Southern Spring palette. I mean, look at this packaging. It's like so springy. But opening this palette, is this not just the most perfect fall color story? You get your greens, your berry tones, some neutral browns in here as well. I love this palette. It's so good. You could certainly use this palette any time of year, but looking at this color story, I don't know. I feel like this spring name is just a little bit off to me. It definitely gives me more fall vibes than anything, and I love the variety in here. Berry tones and greens and just standard neutrals are like, you can never go wrong with those, especially in the fall. Okay, next up is a palette that I probably include every single year in my fall roundup eyeshadow palette video. If you haven't heard about this one, you probably are new here. It is the Nomad palette from Juvia's place. Such a good one. So many of you have bought this palette on my recommendation, and thankfully a lot of you have been very happy with it. I love this thing. I have long said that this center shade, which I mean mine is, I'm gonna hit pan on this. I think I said this last year. I still haven't hit pan. Thankfully, I think it's because I have so many eyeshadow palettes. As much as I love this one and I do use it quite a bit, it still is rotated in with about 150 other eyeshadow palettes. So I'm just never gonna use this thing quite as much as like your average person would. But I would happily use this as my only fall palette, and I would hit pan on this shimmer very, very fast because it is the perfect champagne gold. It's like a bronze champagne gold. It's so beautiful. It does not matter what your skin tone is. This shimmer is going to look amazing on your eyes. Love the greens in here. I love this pukey green in here. I know it looks kind of like a weird, maybe even like a gross color, but on the eyes, it's just so interesting and beautiful. Love the oranges and the yellows. This is just such a fun palette to play with. It gives you all of those outdoorsy fall colors that all actually look really good on your eyes. Next up, let's go through a couple of my Natasha Denona or Natasha Denona dupe selections. First off, this right here, this is the Alter Ego Sunlit Dreams palette, which is a dupe for the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm. Now, the color story is beautiful for fall. If you're into your bronze tones, this is it is my favorite Natasha Denona warm toned palette that she's done. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is the Alter Ego version, and I had to pick it for fall because look at this beautiful packaging. I mean, this is like the most beautiful, looks like a screensaver picture. It's so pretty. I do have the original of this palette, which is normally the ones that I pick for my Shop My Stash, but there are a couple of the Alter Ego palettes that have such beautiful fall packaging that I'm going with the Alter Ego one this time. And frankly, I won't really be missing much. I'm perfectly happy with the Alter Ego formulas. I think they do a great job. They create such beautiful looks. I might have to spend just another second or two blending or building a color up here and there, but for the most part, these are such good dupes for the Natasha Denonas, and they're a fraction of the price. So I will link these down below for you guys. Also from Alter Ego, look at this one. Another beautiful fall picture. I love the artwork on these. I think they're so great. I'm trying to decide if they're like paintings or if they're actual photographs. This is the Daylight palette. This is a dupe for the I Need a Nude, which is still perhaps if I had to pick one Natasha Denona palette and just stick with that for the rest of my life, really just like one palette in general, that would definitely be, if not my selection, it would be right up there in my like top 2 or 3 rankings. I love this palette. Now it seems on the surface, looking at this, as someone that really does love their warm tones, this looks more cool toned than what you would think I would pick, but it's such a beautiful palette. You do get a couple of warms in here that can definitely add a little bit of warmth to your look. I love the shimmers in this palette. From the colors and the formulas, the variety of finishes, it's just so stunning. Again, this isn't the original Natasha Denona, but I'm perfectly happy with this one. I've used the Alter Ego ones enough times that I have a really good feel for both of the palettes, so I really do feel that they do a great job. Next selection is an original Natasha Denona palette. This is the Yucca palette. I'm not sure if this is still available on Sephora's website or at the Natasha Denona website. I will link it for you guys down below, but this is such a good kind of underrated palette that she released. Fun color story. There are some shades in here that I imagine would intimidate quite a few people, particularly this like neon yellow. I don't even know that you're catching the reflective kind of like radioactive quality of this lime green right here. It truly looks like the slime in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Not a color I reach for very often. But other than that, I love the mustardy tones in here. I love the kind of browns and the greens. I love these kind of like crossover brownish green colors. They're so fun. Very army kind of camo palette color story. I love it. It's such a fun one that gives you a little bit of variety, a lot of different finishes, a little bit of duochrome in here. It's just a really fun palette to play with if you like your fall tones. All right, my next selection is from Too Faced. This is the Pumpkin Spice palette, the original one. I feel like they've come out with 1 or 2 renditions since I bought this one, which is the first one they came out with. I'm pretty sure this thing's about 4 or 5 years old. It's such a fun palette. The colors are really fun. You get a lot of colorful varieties of fall tones in here, a lot of jewel tones in here. It's a very strongly jewel toned palette. You get some really good shimmers. It's a fun one to play with. It smells, obviously, true to the Too Faced brand. It smells like pumpkin, which I love. I love my scented eyeshadows or face products or lip glosses. Such a fun palette for fall. This is one that I do pick out every year. I'll be honest, it's not my most used. Like color-wise, it's not my most used fall palette because it is quite colorful, But the formulas are great. It's fun to play with, and I have to at least give it a go once or twice every fall just because it's just so on theme for kind of Thanksgiving, Halloween, kind of pumpkin spice season. Another favorite of mine for the fall, I think I did include this one last year, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Metals palette. This is such a great palette. Again, kind of heavy on the jewel tones, but a little bit more like, not as colorful. You get a lot of neutrals in here with a couple of jewel tones as well. It's beautiful. I love the warm browns in here. The Anastasia matte formula, especially when it comes to their darker, chocolatey, rich browns or kind of dark reds, is so good. It blends like a dream. You can layer things on top of each other and just get such good dimension. You don't have to work really hard to blend things out. Anytime a dark eyeshadow makes you work too hard, if you have to blend a lot, it's very likely to start getting patchy, and then you have to start blending more, and sometimes the more you blend, the worse it gets. So you really need a good formula if you're going for something rich and dark, and these are all so good. I love the shimmers in here. This kind of sheer greenish gold, it's so interesting. It's such an interesting shade. I love it. It looks beautiful on the lid. This shade right here, which I initially thought would be way too dark because it looks quite dark and kind of like a dark pewtery gray, but it has so much reflectiveness in it that it actually is very beautiful on the eyes for a slightly smokier lid shade. This, I imagine, is one of those shades that could do a very good like one eyeshadow look. You just put this all over, blend it a little bit through the crease, and be good to go. Love the coppers in here. It's just so good. This is such a good palette. I love the Anastasia formula. I know I don't buy a lot of their eyeshadows anymore. I feel like they had their moment in the sun and they've sort of like been overshadowed by the millions of other brands from celebrities and other celebrity makeup artists. There's just so much makeup out there these days. It's hard to stand out, but I still feel like Anastasia, don't overlook them even though they've been around for a while. Speaking of celebrity makeup artists, I also picked out my Patrick Ta palette that has one broken shade in here that I've been meaning to bring my Gorilla Glue down and fix, and I keep forgetting. Anyways, this is the original Major Dimension eyeshadow palette, the brown version. I still want to pick up the berry toned one. Every time I go to put it in my cart at Sephora though, it's just so expensive. I always end up taking it out thinking maybe next time. I'll get it next time, and I still haven't done it. This is another one of those palettes that's just really fun because of the variety of finishes that you get in here. Love that you get these cream shadows here that I love putting in the outer corner and then layering some of these darker medium browns on top. It gives you such a good like rich dimensional look. Love the shimmers in here as well. These do kind of like hard pan a little bit, but they still apply really well as long as you use your finger. And they just have such a pretty reflective kind of glittery quality to them. They're beautiful on the eyes. This creates some really beautiful, rich, kind of chocolatey eye looks that I absolutely love, especially for fall. I also selected what's by far my most expensive palette in my collection. And every time I pull it out, I have to say that, which is probably annoying. I bought this thing like 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm still hung up on how much I paid for it. It's the Pat McGrath Mothership. I think it's the 6. Almost, I don't have my glasses on right now. I think it's the Mothership 6. I'll link it for you guys down below. Such a good color story for fall. The only shade in here I forced myself to use it, I think, once, is this blue shade. I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to be reaching for that. Probably less and less the older I get, and already it was very little. But other than that shade, everything else in here is just perfection. Pat McGrath formula is great. I kind of hate to say it because this thing full price I think was $125 listed when I bought it like 6 years ago. I imagine those prices have probably gone up because everyone else's prices have gone up. But honestly, once you're getting to that point, if you have $125 to spend on an eyeshadow palette, you probably have $500 to spend on an eyeshadow palette. So maybe it's not that big of a deal to some people. It's a beautiful palette though. As much as I still just think, what was I thinking? I do enjoy using this palette, especially in the fall. It is seriously perfect. Another palette that I think is nearly perfect is a newer release. It's the Cozy Cafe from Sydney Grace. I've talked about this one a few times recently because I did pick it up in the summer. I kind of got to know it throughout the end of the summer, and then moving into fall, I'm finding more and more this truly for me is a very fall color story. You get kind of your army-ish greens. I wouldn't even say they're green. They just have like the tiniest touch of green in them that would not be that obvious on the eyes. It's more of like a neutral with a dash of green. Then you get some rosy shades, which you know I love, and even these grays down here. are kind of fun in the fall and the winter. I do sometimes love a silvery look. And if anyone can do silvers, it's going to be Sydney Grace. This is just a really fun color story. If you aren't into the warmer tones, I think you'd really like this one because nothing in here leans warm at all. Very neutral, leaning cool, but a lot of variety, but it's not so colorful that if you're intimidated by anything too bold or colorful, this is going to give you a lot of options without being too outside of your comfort zone. And speaking of cool tones, I have one more cool tone palette. I feel like we were pretty heavy on the warm tones at the beginning of the video. This is the Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop. This is a great palette. I've actually had a couple of their other larger palettes. I've had my eye on them since trying this one out, which is funny because I've owned several, maybe not several, I think I've owned 2 other of these larger, I think they're 36 shades in them, 30 shades. These 30 shade eyeshadow palettes, I've decluttered a couple of them before, mostly out of necessity. Not that I disliked them, I do always love ColourPop palettes for the most part, but some of those were more colorful. This one is a kind of like a cool, neutral palette. You get a lot of soft berries and pinks in here, a lot of neutral browns, a few grays. It's a beautiful palette. If you like neutral lid shades, kind of like rose golds and taupes, this has some huge winners in it. It's such a beautiful one. All the formulas work really well, whether you're going more pink or more brown or more cool. You can get a lot of variety out of this palette, which of course there's 30 shades. You should be able to get a lot of variety out of it, but it's a fun one to play with if you are a neutral girl. So that's it for my larger palettes that are going to be in my little organizer. I do have a little drawer here that has some smaller selections in it, so let me walk through those with you guys really quickly. First off, I've got 3 Kaja Trios that I selected. I love these things. First off is the Peach Madeleine one, this right here, which gives you, let's see, you get this beautiful foiled gold and then this kind of peach champagne that has this gold sparkle in it, and then a nice neutral peach for your crease. This creates such a good everyday eye look. I also picked the Spiked Ginger one. I love this shimmer in the center of this one. So you get like a basic kind of lid shade. This can work as like a transition shade, a very light transition shade on my lid, depending on your skin tone. If you have deeper skin than me, this will be a good highlight shade for you. If you have very, very fair skin, it will be a perfect transition shade for you. You also get this shimmer in the middle, which is kind of like a rosy bronze. It's a very unique color. I love it. It's usually these shades that are kind of like a reddish bronze are a little too, they pull too orange or they pull too dark on me. This one is more neutral and soft. It looks beautiful on the lid. And then at the bottom you get just like a warm kind of coffee color, coffee medium brown. It's beautiful. Then this one right here is the Toasted Caramel one. You get a beautiful gold. I think this has all shimmers, a beautiful warm bronze with a gold sparkle in it, and then a kind of like a coppery bronze in here as well. And I pulled out my Dancing Green palette from Essence. This is so good. This creates the most beautiful eye look. If you like your kind of camo sort of green tones that aren't overly green, give this thing a chance. I feel like this dark green right here might intimidate some people looking at this, but I'm telling you, this green just smoked into your outer corner, a tiny bit of it, with the rest of the shades in here, creates such a pretty eye look. I still remember the video I filmed where I tried this out for the first time. I've been doing videos for 7 years now, and I remember that video because I was so impressed with this. Couple from Wet n Wild. I've got my Wet n Wild Color Icon and Call Me Sunshine. Beautiful if you like your warm bronzy tones and coppers and kind of these like golden yellows. This thing is so pretty. Also this Color Icon, the pumpkin, no, it's called the Sundays. This just looks like a pumpkin to me. If you don't like oranges, you're not gonna like this one. It's very, very orange, but I love it. Then I got 2 Natasha Denona minis as well. This one right here, the mini retro. I hope this thing is still around. I've seen it slowly disappearing from websites. I'll check her website, Natasha's website. I hope she doesn't discontinue this thing because it's still one of my favorite minis. It's so incredible. Then this one right here, the mini Biba. Very beautiful kind of peach tone palette. I actually have had this in my drawer for the last 3 months and I've used it quite a bit and I'm not quite done using it yet. I feel like it's very fall appropriate and I love the formulas in here in this lid shade. This is another one of those lid shades, kind of like what I said with the Juvia's Place lid shade. It's perfect. It looks amazing. It's not too icy, it's not too bright, but it's not too dark either. It just looks so good. This one has a bit more of like a bronzy pink tone to it, whereas that one was more of like a champagne golden bronze. But it's also lovely. I love this little palette. And with that, you guys, those are all of my selections for fall. What did you guys think? Were there some that you were surprised to see? I know I'm looking at my bookshelf of eyeshadow palettes right now, and there's still a lot over there that I know would work great for fall, but I have to pick and choose. Let me know what your favorite eyeshadow palette is for the fall season. Maybe give me your top 2 or 3. Also, if there are new, I'm not really planning to buy a lot of new eyeshadow palettes this fall, but if there is a new eyeshadow palette that you just think deserves some attention from me, let me know down below. Hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are not yet subscribed, let me give you one last reminder to do that, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!